Oh, Dave, very nice, very nice. I'm sorry, what'd you say again? I missed that, Dave.
I said you guys are hilarious, and I got a second Eric Roberts on that when in the intro. That was probably one of the coolest intros I've seen. You guys picked all the right clips for that intro. Everyone sounds like so excited to be here. So I got to be really excited too.
And you know what? You just made the next iteration of the intro because you said we're so fun.
Yeah.
You're in, my friend. You're in. What's going on, man? How's everything going?
You look great, David.
Man, thank you so much. It's the lighting. I'm telling you, it's all about lighting. I face the window. I'm overlooking North Central Park right now. I have 3 days left in New York. It's literally flown by so quick. And I'm going to miss it. I got to say, like, I'm a little emotional kind of going. I've been like tearing up here and there because I'm like, oh, I mean, I can always come back to New York, but it's different when you live here and you're doing an off-Broadway production and shows.
Yeah.
It's a cool experience.
How long was the run for the off-Broadway show?
It's still going when I leave, but my contract, because I have other obligations, I'm going to Europe next month, and then I'm doing a bunch of different prides for this summer. But I started March 18th, and my last show is this Saturday, and then I leave back to Los Angeles and go back on the road.
Naked Boys Singing. You were also in the Las Vegas version. You're in the New York off-Broadway version, I believe, right near Hell's Kitchen. So, Dave, literally, you got, because I was looking for some pictures to put up of you guys. Some guys are just in underwear. Some guys are totally naked. So are you guys, is it full frontal nudity when you guys are singing up there on the stage?
Yeah, so the show's been around for 20 some years. There's been different iterations of the show, but it is a fully nude show. There's nothing sexual about it at all. It's a musical comedy that, like I said, been around for a long time. You honestly, we've had so many different walks of life. I've had friends, I've had family come. Like, you forget that we're naked 5 minutes into the show because it's just so funny. But it is an adjustment it was an adjustment for me back in Vegas when I did it, because I had never been fully naked in front of like a theater audience before. So it's
I know, right? It's an adjustment. You see what he said there?
Yeah, exactly.
It's an adjustment. Yeah.
You're so funny. But what I was thinking about was also, what are you thinking about when you're out there? Or do you not even?
Gotta be. Well, listen,
you're so secure, like it just doesn't even.
Body positivity to the max.
It honestly, you're so secure at that point. The only thing I'm thinking about are, because it's really, some of the songs are really wordy. So I'm thinking about my lyrics and the costume changes, because backstage is pitch black. So I'm literally with my phone. I'm like this, trying to find my next costume. There's nothing glamorous about theater, really, when you're backstage frantically like trying to not look disheveled for the audience and get your stuff together. So yeah, the last thing on my mind is being naked. As a matter of fact, like the other day I was packing up my bag to go to the theater for the show. And I was like, what am I missing? And I'm like, David, it's a fully nude show. You're not missing anything. You literally you're completely naked. So yeah, it's been such a wild ride. And you know, now we have different walks of life in the show too. Dom Giovanni's the newest member of the cast, and he's all about body positivity. So like when you look at the show, different people can see themselves on stage, but I think it's really important to have representation these days.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. Now, do you guys listen, as you guys, if I'm in a room or on a stage with you know, guys or friends, and we're all singing naked, that's going to be pretty hard not to laugh.
We laugh.
As a comedy, I guess you guys, anything goes, or do you got to sing the songs and sing them the way they're supposed to be?
You do. You have to. Theater's very regimented, as you guys know. There's not a whole lot of room for embellishments and riffs and runs. And I'm an R&B pop singer, so you know, I started off musical theater, so I knew that going into it. But it's an adjustment, and so there are moments where we break character on stage because somebody will be over the top with like a line they deliver, and we're just like, okay, that was. But I think those are the moments, kind of like Jimmy Fallon on SNL when he was back on SNL. Like when he would break character, like those are the moments the audience is like, "Oh my god, I can relate to that." They're actually the funniest moments. I think they're not encouraged by our director or producer all the time, but then when they do happen, they're just, you know, few and far between.
Okay, I got to get you tickets to see Naked Boys sing. You got to get there with your girlfriend.
Go with Lauren.
We'll get Lauren.
You're gonna see me.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to ask, did you ever imagine, you know, that tryout at American Idol would have been like launched your career and then moved you through the phases when you tried out for it. I mean, look at how young you were, David.
I know. I was like a little tiny baby. I wish I could give him
representing the state of Arizona right there.
Yeah, Arizona's that's my home state, my hometown. To answer your question, no, I didn't even want to audition for the show. I had just gotten dropped from my record label, and my manager at the time was like, "You should audition." And I thought the American Idol was just such a gimmick. And so the whole auditioning process, I just kept making it, and I didn't really care. And I think that's sort of when things, I don't know, for some reason, when when you're not so stressed about things, they tend to happen for you a little bit better. I wasn't stressed at all. I was just like, whatever, if I make it, cool. If not, I'll go back to writing my own music and all that kind of stuff. So it was, to make the top 12 was wild to me. And then to open for like John Legend at the inauguration for Obama was crazy. To be on tours, I mean, it just feels like I keep upping the ante as the years go on, which is, I don't know, it kind of sometimes becomes stressful because you're like, what am I going to do next? And it's like, man, you forget what you've already done.
Yeah,
you got to pinch. Yeah.
I was going to ask you about the inauguration. So you opened up for John Legend. That was at like the nighttime party, I assume.
That was actually, that was a nighttime party for Norman Lear's Declare Yourself. So it was like John Legend, Jessica Alba, Maroon 5, Adam Levine was there. We were all sharing like these partitioned dressing rooms in like a banquet room of a hotel. And I was just like, I just got off American Idol. Like, what am I doing? I've had imposter syndrome because I'm like, what am I doing here? These people have sold millions of records and I was just on TV. So I don't know. It was definitely, like Suki said, like pinch yourself. And I still pinch myself to this day.
What did you pick? Was it just one song? What did you pick to open up with?
No, it was a song called Born Again American that we all sang. There was like 4 of us together that sang the song right before John Legend and Maroon 5 went on stage. So it was like, it was just all about being an American and being proud of where you're from and proud of our country. And it was really, really cool. It was a great experience.
Do you remember how it went at all?
It went amazing. It went amazing.
No, I mean the song. You remember how the song goes?
Oh, God, no. I have it on my laptop though, but I don't remember. I mean, this was also like how many years ago?
It's a long time ago.
2000, which depending on which one was 2008 or was it 2012? But like what I'm curious about is we're so used to having front row seats when it comes to like historical things. We've been news people and we've covered a lot of news stories. What was it like for you to have a front row seat as a young person, and to see that on that level? I would have, that would have been like something that I would have loved to have been a part of.
You mean for the inauguration?
Yeah.
Well, it was crazy because there was Secret Service and security everywhere. That was also the same night that Beyonce was there, so I couldn't tell Secret Service was there because of Beyonce or was it because of Beyonce or because of the president or for both. So it was, and a lot of it was like, it kind of flew by so quick, to be honest. Like they rushed us into the fitting rooms, or dressing rooms, and then they rushed us onto the stage, and then it was like, rush us to the after party. And so it was like, some of it, I honestly feel like I might have blacked out during that whole year. I would have. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm a little Mexican boy that comes from a town called Guadalupe, Arizona.
Wow.
And my grandparents were immigrants. They built one of the first homes in that city. So when we lived with them for a long time until I was like 8 or 9 years old. So I come from super humble beginnings. My dad's a truck driver. My mom's a nurse. So to be on that platform, and that's the beauty of American Idol, is you can be like anybody from any walk of life and make it to superstardom. So I never saw that for myself, honestly. It's not like I had like low expectations, but I always wanted to be a doctor and go to college, and and then I had my first chemistry class in college, and I was like, nope, I'm not being a doctor.
Good.
Definitely not happening.